Hi guys, I'm just doing a little impromptu live in this group because the reason being I've been chatting to a few people on DM and people have been asking me what it is I do, and I guess you know if you're in this Facebook group that I am about weight loss, and probably a lot of you know that I'm also a yoga teacher, but I just wanted to kind of explain a bit more about what I do for those that don't know, because yes, I know posts and emails come out to you, but you don't always have time to read them. So really what I am trying to do in this group and generally with my programs, and I actually have 4 programs actually, so yeah, for different budgets and focusing on different areas, but mostly it's about weight loss. One program is a yoga program, but mostly it's about weight loss, but it's about doing it in a different way. So let me explain where it comes from. So I literally remember being that person, and I know that a lot of ladies in this group relate to this, that person, like, kind of, I felt like I was out in the wilderness searching for the thing, the diet or you know, the method that was going to help me lose weight permanently, and be able to sort of end that struggle that I had with it, because I was a yo-yo dieter, like up and down, up and down. And I think I was a yo-yo dieter on a good day. Yeah, there was, on bad days it was kind of like binge eating and, you know, heavily restricting food and exercising like a crazy ass woman, and doing some really extreme things to my body that were not kind and that didn't really result in what I wanted at all. They may have given me weight loss in the short term, but I always regained it, okay, or I never quite got there because I gave up. So that's what this is about. It's about really helping women stop being out in the wilderness searching for the thing that it's going to be. I'm really passionate about this because it was me for 20 years. So yeah, it's a big anxiety when you're obsessed with your weight and food and dieting and just not knowing what the answers are and feeling very confused and overwhelmed. So it's about kind of ending that process and stop looking outside for the answers and starting to look inside for the answers, because this body, this product, this is what you look at every day in the mirror, is a product of what's going on inside. And that may sound a bit cliche, but it's actually true. You know, you've heard the phrase, obviously you are what you eat, but it's not just about the food. It's about much, much more than just the food, right? Because the food, actually eating, is an action, and before you make that decision to eat, there's a lot of processes going on mentally and emotionally to kind of lead you to that decision. So I kind of really work with mindset coaching, okay, so that's one thing. I work with emotions, which is kind of a product of mindset coaching as well, and so it's mindset, emotions, and in particular emotional eating, because a lot of sorry, there's a plane going over, a lot of women that suffer with you know, yo-yo dieting, excuse me, probably recognise that they emotionally eat quite a lot. So that's another area that I focus on. And then hormones as well. So whether you're overweight or not, it's great to balance your hormones, whatever age you are, not just if you're perimenopausal, menopausal, although it does kind of come into its own at that point in your life as well. So literally, actually just, you know, if you're interested in any of those 3, please put in the chat mindset, emotions, or hormones, or just say all 3 in the chat now, and I will get some free training to you, okay? Because I've got tons of free training on this stuff, and I'm, you know, happy to send it out to people. So just comment if it's mindset. You're wondering what the heck that's about. How does mindset? I'm going to go into it in a minute, but how does mindset affect my weight? Weird. I thought the same once. How does you know, what have my emotions got to do with that? That's a bit more obvious because we know about emotional eating and hormones. Now, how do hormones affect my weight? There's a very big kind of area there, which is really, really interesting actually. And when you start to understand it, it really helps you to balance your hormones and balance your body at the same time. So, okay, so so the hormones is probably the first area that I do look at. And I work very closely with my nutritionist, who is a hormone expert as well, but she's very, you know, around on the food side of things. But yeah, she looks holistically at it as well. We look at it together. So we start there because normally we can make a few tweaks in that area for most women, unless there's something, some issue going on with the hormones that, is medical, then unless there's something, we'll discover what that is and make recommendations. But hormonally, sometimes it's very obvious, without doing any blood tests, without doing anything, it's very obvious that we need to tweak this, we need to tweak that, we need to tweak that, and it could be, excess sugar, which spikes your insulin, which puts all the other hormones out of balance and causes your body to hold on to fat, for example. That's a very obvious one, and that's one that a lot of people are not so familiar with. They think that eating sugar is making them put on weight, but they don't know why. Okay, so actually, yes, the calories in sugar is contributing, but also it's also spiking your blood sugar, your insulin, and that's putting your hormones out of whack. And when your hormones are out of whack, they hold on to fat. So hormones is the first place we start, because there's often a few tweaks we can make there, that to diet, to sleeping patterns, to hydration, and also from toxins in things that we use, products that we use, it all contributes. Okay, so if you're interested in hormones, comment in the chat hormones now. I can send you some free training on that. So that's the first area that I look at, and yes, diet comes into that, but as I said, food is not the only thing that we focus on. It's something that we like to tweak and get right for the individual. Like, one way of eating is not going to suit everybody. It's not a cookie cutter approach. Everybody's individual. So that's what I mean. We have to look internally. What is it for us? Yeah, what is it that's affecting us, you as an individual? And that's the difference between this and other plans that you might try, because they might say, here's the food, do the food this way. But we look at you and then decide what is right for you, okay? So that's hormones. The second area, but I would say this is probably the number one area, really, because it affects everything. But hormones we do first, because sometimes that can just help you shift weight quickly, okay? And it can be really simple. Then the second area is mindset, okay? And like, this is the area that everyone's just like, oh, why? What has that got to do with my weight? And I can really, really honestly tell you that it has everything to do with your weight. It has everything to do with everything. But the way that you think and your limiting beliefs are literally affecting everything you do, not just your weight. But so if you, for example, have a belief that you have always struggled, everyone in my family's always struggled, I will always struggle with my weight. If that's your belief, then that's what will happen, because your thoughts create your feelings, and your feelings drive your actions. Yeah, eating is an action. So think about it. Most diets just deal with the eating. Yeah, they focus on, and the fourth one is results. So we've got thoughts, feelings, actions, results. Okay, the results are the things that you want. The actions are the things that you're doing to get those results. It's like eating or not eating, exercising, not exercising, balancing your hormones, not balancing your hormones, okay, or managing your emotional eating, not managing your emotional eating. Those are all actions, right? And they're actions that we can work on. But before that, we've got the feelings, and we've got the thoughts. And that's the bit that most diet plans, exercise plans, fitness plans, totally ignore. So we're looking at that area. So mindset is like, I have a thought which drives a feeling. So if you're feeling, I was talking to a lady this morning, for example, she is just feeling crappy because she's been overeating, she feels crappy, she's not totally demotivated because it's raining, and she's thinking thoughts along the lines of, she just feels overwhelmed, and she's thinking, this is not going to work for me. I can't do it. I'm not motivated. I can't get any motivation. I'm just feeling shit, and I can't be bothered to even start because it's just too much and it's overwhelming, and I'm just useless and I can't do it. And if you're thinking those thoughts, those are your thoughts. That's the process is going through your head. We think 65,000 thoughts a day, something like that. I think that's the right number. So if you think that, even if 1% of those or 5% of those are those kind of thoughts, those going around in your head every day are affecting the way you feel. Your thoughts directly actually, create your feelings. So that's why she's feeling crappy, because she's thinking those thoughts. And she might think it's the circumstances around her. She might think it's the rain, it's the fact that I'm not motivated, it's the fact that I haven't been to the gym, I'm just eating or whatever. She thinks that's affecting her feelings, but it's not. It's her thoughts about it. And that's a distinction that we kind of untangle it and help individually look at what you're thinking and what you believe about yourself and help you establish what is causing you to repeat the same behaviour that you don't want. Okay, so I hope that explains it a bit, because I'm not going into detail now, but the mindset is really important, because that will determine whether you feel motivated. It will determine whether you are able to stick to something. It will determine whether you continue with this or you give up. Because it all starts there. Okay, so that's really, really important. And the other area, as I mentioned, is emotions. So, obviously, emotional eating is huge. Yeah, if you eat when you're not hungry, then you literally, you're going to put on weight, right? If you continually do that, once or twice a week is not a problem, right? And there should be no drama around that. And that's kind of, again, that goes back to mindset, because if you create drama in your head about something that you've eaten, that is also going to make you feel crappy or feel a certain way or feel guilty or feel ashamed and you cannot create your best results from that place. So we work on the mindset in terms of, your thoughts and limiting beliefs, but then also about the way that you talk to yourself, okay? Because that, if you're continually, putting yourself down, self-shaming, or just being angry with yourself internally, that will also create feelings that are not going to be useful when you're in that kind of place where you might be emotionally eating, So if you're feeling crappy, you're feeling lonely, overwhelmed, bored, upset, etc., emotional eaters tend to go to the fridge, because they're literally, that's their coping strategy. It's kind of, I don't want to feel like this, so I'm going to eat everything in the fridge. And that was me. Hands up. That was me. So literally, that's a big area. Okay, I'm not going to go into more detail about that now, but emotional awareness, self-connection, all of that is just, hugely effective in helping you to deal with that emotional eating cycle. And it is a cycle, basically. It's a cycle that you're in. It's your thoughts, your feelings, driving your actions, creating the results that you don't want. So we have to kind of break that cycle. It's a yo-yo cycle, yeah? And you don't really know when you're in it. When you're in this cycle, you don't really know whether you're in it or not, because you're in it, right? So you're not really thinking, I'm at that point in the cycle at the moment, and then I'm going to move on to that. So, because if you had that awareness, then you probably wouldn't be doing it as much. And so that's what we do. We help you to see what your cycle is and how you break it in regard to hormones, mindset, emotions. Exercise does come into it, because that is important for your hormones, right? So a lot of people know me as a yoga teacher. Yes, I used to do loads of yoga in this group, and there's tons of yoga in the guide section. If you want free classes, there's loads of stuff in there. If you like yoga, comment yoga below, okay? Just please comment in the chat so that I know what to send you if you've watched this, yeah? Just comment yoga, comment hormones, comment mindset, comment emotions, or just say all of it, and I'll send you a couple of free trainings. So yes, mindset, emotions, all of that. And a lot of what I teach is rooted in yoga, because yoga is a very self-compassionate practice. Yoga is about self-awareness. Yoga is about watching yoga meditation is about kind of becoming a watcher of your own thoughts. And that is, kind of something that's generally done in modern kind of life coaching, mindset coaching. You're taught to kind of take a step back and look at your mind processes. And this is exactly what the yoga philosophy teaches as well. And it's 2,000 years old. So it's kind of a different way of doing it, but there's just different labels, I guess. Because as I learned it from yoga, and then as I went through my life, I learned all these other methods. I was like, well, they do that in yoga, they do that in yoga philosophy. So I just kind of stick to the yoga philosophy that I know, but it really does relate to modern coaching, modern mindset coaching, modern, hormonal balancing is also, stress relief, breathing in yoga, the breath work really kind of calms down your nervous system and actually kind of stops the cortisol coursing through your veins when you're feeling stressed, right? So it helps in so many ways, and the yoga just pops up every now and again, But overall, what I'm looking to do with each of my clients, yes, and as many of you in this group that I can, is develop a strategy for you that starts here. And it's not about you like looking everywhere, searching on Google, out in the wilderness. It's about being here now with yourself. Again, that's yoga. Be here now in the present moment, yeah, where life exists, the only place where life exists, because this is where we are now, looking at where you are now and really taking that and working out a strategy that works for you and your body, because everybody is different. Everyone has a different body, everyone has different hormonal imbalances, or people eat for different reasons, and they sometimes don't even realise, because some emotional eating is very obvious. It's like, oh, I've had a shit day, I'm going to like eat all the cookies. But other emotional eating isn't so obvious, and it's kind of like, why am I eating this? I don't want it. I'm not even hungry, but I'm still eating it. And it's working that out, working back to what is driving that, and looking in. So going past that action and looking to the thoughts and the feelings that are driving that action. And that is where the beauty and the magic of my programs and the way I teach come in, because it really is kind of magical when you kind of something clicks into place hormonally. Yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, I've been doing that for years, and it didn't, and it's and I've and suddenly I'm able to shift a bit of weight that I never thought could happen, because I've just made a tweak to something like the quality of food that I eat. Yeah, so I've stopped eating processed food and replaced that with, food made from scratch, which I know it's not always possible for everybody, but that's just an example. Yeah, and that alone. Yeah, nothing to do with the calories, just the quality of the food that you're eating will make a huge difference. So anyway, there's some examples there. I'd love to hear from you. Just comment in the chat: hormones, mindset, emotions, yoga, any of those that you're interested in. Excuse me. Just comment below. I'll send you some free training, or if you want, I have a free, a brand new form that I have just created specifically for members of this group to help them work out what it is for them that's holding them back from getting the body they want, and for and also helping them feel less crappy, basically, about hormonally, emotionally, excuse me, and yeah, so that you can move past that point of stuckness and move into evolve and grow and move forwards towards your goals. Okay, so if you want any of that, just comment in the chat. Also, if you want the form, comment form. I've got this great new form. It's really helping me and work out what people need. So yeah, and if you're interested, obviously, in any of my programs, I have a 12-week program. I have a 1-to-1 4-week program. I have a group program, and the next one starting at the end of August. Yeah, we're going to be doing that in September, and that's like a group coaching program. I'm running one at the moment. That starts every month. I've also got a yoga program, a yoga strength program. So if anyone's interested in any of those, pop yoga programs, mindset, emotions, what's the other one? Mindset, emotion, hormones, form. There's six options for you there. I'll just say all of it, and I'll just send it all to you. Okay. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I just wanted to do this because I wanted to update people on what's going on. Oh, don't forget also this Thursday, free training. I'm doing free training every Thursday in this group now. The time may differ. This week it's at 11 a.m. UK time. If you want, if you want more info on that, this week I'm going to be talking about £7 down again, because it's been so, people really want to know how to lose £7 without feeling like they have to give up everything they love, feel restricted, feel deprived, and crappy. And I'm going to kind of talk about that on Thursday. And that directly obviously relates to my £7 down program, which is exactly what I do on there. But I'm going to give you a little bit of free coaching on that, but some stuff that I haven't taught before. So I have talked about it the last few weeks, but I'm going to give you a little bit of something else. Okay, so look forward to seeing you there. Just drop your drop in the chat what it is you want to hear from me, and I'll get back to you very soon. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that clears up a few questions for some people. Bye bye.